Hi everybody. Today I'm going to talk about a issue we have with these MEC reloaded crimp starters. Um, I'm sure anyone that has used these for any amount of time realizes that these crimp starter cups wear out. The little hole in the center of this plastic cup snaps onto this ball, and that's a crimp starter. But what happens over a period of time, thousands of rounds, I've loaded thousands of them. This wears out. The hole gets big and it falls off. While you're reloading, it'll come down. It'll stick to the top of the shell and go to the next station. So it's an annoying little problem, but I have a good fix for it. Over the years, I don't know how many I've bought. Here's all the bolts and cups that I bought over the years. Now, I've had it for 30 years and loaded hundreds of thousands of shells through it. So it does happen, and anyone that uses it a lot knows what I'm talking about. Um, but there is a good fix for it. I found out that if you take that off and I bought some parts at the local hardware store. Okay, this is what it is. It snaps together and it spins, it's loose, but it'll eventually wear out and fall off, causing you problems. So the fix for it is to take your cup. Here's an 8-point and here's a 6-point. Now you'd have to do it for both. Drill this out to 3/16. Put a 3/16 hole in it. Okay. Now you have to go buy a number 832 threads, Allen head cap screw. And what you do is after you drill that out, it'll fit in there and it'll go down in between all the points. Let me put some light on that. I hope you can see it. But it'll go down in there and still be loose. So, but it won't come through, not at all. So after you do that, you have to put a lock nut on it. Okay. Now I'm just going to run that lock nut down to the cup. There's a lot of threads there. It might take a bit. Okay, getting there. Now keep in mind that you can't make this tight. It has to be loose and it has to be able to spin and turn on there. Okay, I'm down the whole way. Now it's tight, it won't move. So if I back it off a little bit, now it's fine. Come on out of there. See, it'll spin and it has to be loose. So once you've done that, take an 832 hex nut, put on there, and this is going to be your adjustment. Once you've done that, try to get in closer here. Where you at? Okay. Put it back up through the hole. Put an 832 hex nut on top. And it's on. Now it's adjustable. If you loosen the bottom one and tighten the top one, it'll move up. If you loosen the top one and tighten the bottom one, it'll come down. So you can adjust it where you need it. So once you get there, take your wrench. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold that with the Allen wrench. That'll hold your bolt and tighten this up. Okay, now that's tight. This is still loose, and it turns, it spins. From experience, I know that this is pretty close. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run a couple shells through it and see what the starter crimp looks like. If I have to, I'll adjust it. So let's come over here. Hook this up. This is my primer feed. Okay. Get in there. It's ready to feed primers. Let me grab a couple empty shells. I just happen to have a few laying around. Okay, let's see how it works. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start one. Okay, there's your primer drop down. Goes over top of it. The next hole. Okay, now you got primer and powder in there. And you need some wads. Okay, you got a wadding shot in there. Now it goes to the crimp starter. So we're going to turn this and have a look at it. A hole and a wad. And it looks to me like it's a little too low. I'm going to have to raise it up. So, and that's pretty easy to do. I'm going to take this out of the way. Put this in here. So I want it to go up. I have to loosen the bottom nut. And as I'm loosening it, it's traveling up. Okay, tighten the top one. And it's tight. Now this is still loose. It has to be loose. Okay, now I'm going to put this one back in. With a hole and a wad in it, and we're going to check it out. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. I like that. So it's a pretty easy fix. This won't come off. There's no way that's going to come off. And to change it over to a 6-point hull for like your high brass, your hunting loads and stuff like that, you make up another one of these, and all you have to do is take the nut off the top, put this on, and tighten that nut up, and you're ready to go. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to turn it where it's easier for me. That's a pretty good crimp right there. Let's run a couple more through. Look at that. That's really good. I'll do a couple more, see, make sure it's good. Now I can adjust it. I think I'm going to adjust it down just a slight amount, which would mean to loosen the top. I'm getting old and clumsy. So you loosen the top one and tighten up the bottom one. Getting there now. Okay, now that's tight. Let's put this back in. I'm gonna try that. That's a perfect crimp, it really is. I can barely see a BB on that one, but here's the adjusted one right here. And that's perfect. That's perfect. I'll take that all day long. It's really good. Now, that took care of the issue. It'll never happen again. Yep, that's perfect. I've done the same thing with my 410 reloader here. And I've used it, loaded 300 rounds last week with it, and it's perfect. How do you get out of Zoom? There you go. So anyhow, I hope that helps you. Anybody who's having that issue, it takes an 832 by 1.25" bolt and 2 832 hex nuts and 1 832 lock nut. It cost me $1.44 for them all, I think. But one thing you got to watch for is, see how this doesn't have threads the whole way? This one's closer, which this one will work. But I found one that's threaded the entire way, and it's best. This one, no, it's too loose on there. You want to get it to where when you adjust it, it's in the right position. But yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Any comments, any good or bad, it's all good. Put it in the comment section and I'll answer you. But hey, thank you guys. I hope this helped you and hope to see you out on the range.